No, and I mean, if you're anti-union as a CEO, you're anti-union busting or you're for union busting. I'm not saying you're anti-union. I'm just saying that it seems like to me, as a former CEO, not nearly at the success that you were at, sir. And I'm not trying to defend your company because, quite frankly, politically, we're on totally different ends of the spectrum. And so the irony of this hearing is actually kind of funny. And I do want to point out some hypocrisy about this hearing with the chairman. And it's not trying to get personal. All this information is going to be very public.
Whoa, did you catch that? Senator Markwayne Mullin from Oklahoma just dropped a political grenade and Bernie Sanders was standing right in the blast zone. This was one of those rare moments in Washington where someone stopped reading from the script and actually said what everyone else avoids. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down a Senate hearing clip that instantly went viral for all the right reasons. Let's be honest, most hearings are painfully dull. Career politicians talking in circles, suits lecturing. Other suits. But every once in a while someone decides they're done playing along. In this case Bernie Sanders was in his usual role grilling former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz and painting CEOs as greedy villains while casting himself as the hero of the working class. That's when Senator Mullen stepped in and flipped the entire conversation. He asked the one question nobody in DC ever wants answered. If making money is such a moral failure, Bernie, why are you a multimillionaire? We're about to watch the full exchange, but trust me, Mullen exposes a double standard so clearly it's impossible to ignore. It's the oldest political trick in the book. Rules for everyone else, exemptions for me. Let's roll the clip and see how Bernie reacts when the spotlight turns back on him.
The story will come back to that because it sounds like something to do.
I hope you do.
I'll defer to Senator Markwayne Mullin.
Well, thank you. And considering the chairman doesn't want to hear any of that information, because I believe he's pretty biased in his opinion already, Mr. Schultz, I'll give you an opportunity to finish that if you'll do it quickly.
Thank you very much. So, as you might imagine, we're very curious to understand what happened in Buffalo. And we later found out that this individual, which was hired in 2020, was paid for and under the employment of the union that was basically trying to organize Starbucks. We later found out there was more than one person. And so you might want to ask yourself, where's the fairness, the objectivity, and the integrity of what we're talking about here today?
No, and I mean, if you're anti-union as a CEO, you're anti-union busting or you're for union busting. I'm not saying you're anti-union. I'm just saying that it seems like to me, as a former CEO, not nearly at the success that you were at, sir. And I'm not trying to defend your company because, quite frankly, politically, we're on totally different ends of the spectrum. And so the irony of this hearing is actually kind of funny. And I do want to point out some hypocrisy about this hearing with the chairman. And it's not trying to get personal. All this information is going to be very public. But the fact that you can't defend your company because you want to have a good relationship with your employees and you believe in employee value, which we all do. Any CEO knows that the success of our companies are based on our employees. We get that. But it seems like unions today, all they want to do is fight with their employees or their employer, the same employer that is hiring those team members, and that friction causes a very volatile and tough workplace. And if the company and the employees aren't in the same boat, rowing in the same direction, then neither one can be successful. And unions themselves, if you're part of a union, you can never be an executive, you can never be a manager, and never be a CEO. And if you can't be an executive or a manager or the CEO, then how are you actually going to implement the changes that the unions want in those positions to begin with? And it seems like they actually hold back their team members. Mm-hmm. But I take offense to the chairman pointing out that all CEOs are corrupt because they're millionaires. You know, if you make a lot of money, you're corrupt. Yet it's bothering to me because, Mr. Chairman, you yourself have been very successful. Rightfully so. Glad you have been. You've been in office for 28 years, and you and your wife have immersed a wealth of over $8 million. And in fact, your quote on being wealthy and being a millionaire was, well, if you write a bestseller, you can be a millionaire too. If you can be a millionaire, why can't Mr. Schultz and other CEOs be millionaires and be honest too? If that's the case, then why is it that Mr. Schultz, who actually creates jobs and a bestseller of a book, isn't creating any jobs? Why is it that he's corrupt and you're not? Why is it that all CEOs are corrupt because they're wealthy, and yet our chairman, who is wealthy, and I'm glad you are, You're not. Guys, the government's role is to create an environment for entrepreneurs, for go-getters, for world changers to be successful in life. The U.S. government is designed for people that want to succeed can. We can go out and achieve anything that we choose to. But when you lean towards socialism, what you think is government is the answer and unions are the choice. And if you're against us, then you're dead wrong and you must be corrupt. That's not the world we're living in. That's not the America that we believe in. And I'm not against unions. If you want to choose to be in a union, be in a union. But if you choose not to, then you choose not to. And that's why I'm good with right-to-work states. That's honestly why unions actually thrive in Oklahoma and we're right-to-work states. Because it creates a happy environment and a good environment because employees get to choose what they want to be part of. And the employer can have a say in it. What is wrong with choice? What is wrong with employees having a choice? What is wrong with the CEO defending his company and openly saying that he is providing good benefits and paying higher than everybody else? But yet, if you're not part of a union, you're also paying starvation wages. What hypocrisy? What bias? Chairman, you are chair of the Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee. We shouldn't have a biased approach. We should have what's best for America and all those that want to thrive and work in it. And so while we politically disagree, Mr. Schultz, I applaud you for your success. And I applaud all the CEOs out there for their success and all the employees that work hard, that's in the same boat, that's making their companies great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, let me respond, as the senator did mention my name, I think. And I think you got an all-time record here. You made more misstatements in a shorter period of time than I have ever heard.
Please correct
Well,
me.
if I'm worth $8 million,
Public.
excuse me.
It's all public.
Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right? Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
If I'm worth $8 million, that's good news to me. I'm not aware of it. That's a lie. All right? Number two.
Where are the public records?
You're probably looking at some phony right-wing internet stuff. It ain't true.
No,
All right? You should read beyond that. It is not true.
it's
All
part
right.
of public records.
No, it is not public record.
Okay. Well, you made
It is
1.7 million on your book.
Public record.
You made
All right,
1.7
it is.
on your book.
Excuse me. I've got the mic now. Number
Did you not
two,
make the statement
I
that
have
you wanted
the
to be a
mic
millionaire?
now. I've got it.
Did you
had
not
your
make
time.
that statement?
You had your time.
Okay.
All right? You're not telling the truth. Second of all, you got no evidence that I have ever said that all CEOs are corrupt. I have never, ever said that.
Probably not all, but
well,
every time you talk
probably
about
not,
CEOs,
that
you
you
do
shouldn't
say that.
say it. Furthermore, what this hearing is about is whether or not you talk about being pro-union. Really, what this hearing is about is whether workers have the constitutional right to form a union. The evidence is overwhelming, not from me, but from the National Labor Relations Board, is that time after time after time, despite what Mr. Schultz is saying.
All right, be honest. That felt overdue, didn't it? Because what Markwayne Mullin just did was dismantle a socialist talking point in real time. Let's break it down. From the very beginning, the bias was obvious. Bernie didn't even want Howard Schultz to finish explaining the situation with the union organizer in Buffalo. He kept cutting him off, steering the narrative. Mullen called it out, instantly pointing out that the chairman clearly didn't want to hear the other side. That moment set the tone. Mullen wasn't there to play referee, he was there to challenge the premise. But the real moment, the one everyone at home was waiting for, came when Mullen brought up money. Bernie Sanders and his wife are reportedly worth millions, with estimates putting them north of $8 million. And let's be clear, in America, success isn't a crime, we celebrate it. That's the whole point of the American dream. Here's where the contradiction explodes. When Howard Schultz builds a company, takes massive risks, and creates hundreds of thousands of jobs, he's labeled greedy and corrupt. But when Bernie profits from book deals and speaking gigs, suddenly it's perfectly fine. Mullen even used Bernie's own words against him, reminding everyone that Bernie once said, if you write a bestseller you can become a millionaire too. So let's get this straight. Building businesses? Evil. Creating jobs? Exploitation. But selling books that criticize capitalism? That's moral wealth. Mullen didn't let that slide. Bernie tried to pivot, talking about government creating the right environment for workers, but the damage was already done. The contradiction was exposed. Mullen defended a simple idea that gets lost in these debates: success isn't a sin. Entrepreneurs matter. Businesses matter. And demonizing the people who create jobs doesn't help workers, it hurts them. Bernie started shouting, cutting in with "excuse me" over and over. He looked rattled. His response wasn't strong and it wasn't convincing. So what do you think? Was Mullen too aggressive, or did Bernie finally hear what no one else is willing to say to his face? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one.